Hello children, I hope you are all happy and safe. Welcome to this special English hour. Here every day you will be learning something new in a fun and interesting way. Would you like to have some fun? Then let's get started with a quick tongue twister. बच्चों चलिए एक टंग ट्विस्टर के साथ आज के दिन की Now let's begin with our tongue twister. Our tongue twister is selfish, shellfish, selfish, shellfish, selfish, shellfish. I'm sure you remember it by now. Let's say it a little faster. Selfish, shellfish, selfish, shellfish, selfish, shellfish, selfish, shellfish, selfish, shellfish. Did you like it? Did you have fun? Please share it also with your friends. Children, let's begin our day with a simple activity. Now I would like you all to follow the instructions that I am giving. I would like you all to sit comfortably. Now slowly close your eyes. Try to hear the sounds around you. Try to recognize those sounds. I'm sure you all heard the different sounds around you. What sounds did you hear? Could you identify them? Let me tell you some of the sounds that I could hear. I could hear the traffic going by. I could still hear a squirrel on the tree. I heard another friend calling out to me. These were all the different sounds I could hear. Isn't it amazing that we can hear so many sounds when we sit quietly and close our eyes? Today, we are going to read a short lesson on how can we be good listeners. So now you understood why we did the little activity before? Children, if you have a textbook, please open to page number 5. If you don't have a textbook, please listen to me carefully. Please point to the words as we read. Okay, then let's begin. Be a good listener. It is important to be a good listener. When you are learning a language or when you are dealing with other people, are you a good listener? You can find it out with the help of the following questions. When you are listening to someone, do you look at the person or do you turn your head away or toy with something else? If you want to check that you are a good listener, let us ask ourselves a few questions. The first question is, when someone talks to us, do we look at them? Do we listen to them? Or do we just look away or toy with something else? Does it look good when someone is talking to us that we just look away or that we toy with something else? It doesn't look good, right? How would we feel if someone did that when we spoke to them? We would not like it, right? So when someone is talking to us, we should try to look at them and pay attention to them. Do you pay attention to what the speaker is saying? Good listeners pay close attention to the speaker. Do you make any special efforts to understand the speaker? Here are some of the things that will help you understand the speaker better. When someone is speaking with us, we must look at them, pay close attention to what they are saying, and also try to understand them better. जब कोई हमसे बात करता है, हमें उनकी तरफ देखना चाहिए, ध्यान से उन्हें सुनना चाहिए और उन्हें बेहतर समझने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए. If you hear some new or unfamiliar words, try to guess their meaning from the context. Next year, India will be hosting the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games are an ancient festival of sports. Ancient here may be a new word for you. Can you guess the meaning of the word ancient? You can try to guess what the speaker will say next. Try to keep listening even when you feel that you do not understand the speaker or even when you disagree with the speaker. Wait for the speaker to finish what he is saying. Then you can get your doubts clarified by asking polite questions. What do you do when someone is saying something and not agreeing with you? What can you do when someone is saying something and you don't understand? When this happens, you can always wait patiently for the speaker to finish. After the speaker finishes their points, only then ask them polite questions to understand them better. To place your point, do not feel shy or afraid to ask questions if you do not understand what is being said. Put your questions to the speaker politely. Sometimes it helps to note down important words or points even as you listen. Lastly, it also helps to keep thinking about what you heard. You may grasp the meaning of a difficult word or phrase later on. Never feel afraid to ask questions. To understand your speaker better, it's always good to ask questions. You can ask questions, note down important points, and also think over what the speaker was saying so that you understand them better. जब कोई कुछ कह रहा है और आप उन्हें समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं, सवाल पूछने से हिचकिचाइए मत. सवाल जरूर पूछिए. इससे आप उन्हें बेहतर समझ पाएंगे. Now children, tell me, what did we learn from this lesson? We learned from this lesson that to be a good listener, we must look at our speaker, pay close attention to our speaker, wait till our speaker finishes, ask our speaker questions to understand them better, and note down points which we find important. These are the ways we can listen to our speaker well and also understand them better. बच्चों, इस लेसन से हमें क्या सीख मिलती है? हमें ये सीख मिलती है कि जब हम किसी की बात सुन रहे हैं, हमें उनकी तरफ देखना चाहिए, पूरा ध्यान देना चाहिए. अगर हमें कोई बात समझ में नहीं आ रही, हमें रुकना चाहिए ताकि पहले वो अपनी बात पूरी कर ले, फिर ही हमें सवाल करने चाहिए. और अंत में अगर हमें लगता है कि हमें कुछ बातें नहीं समझ में आई, हम ज़रूर उन्हें लिख कर फिर पूछ सकते हैं. I hope you all like this lesson and will find something to practice every day. Children, Words are very important for a language. Come, let's have a look at the new words we'll see today. Wonder, wonder, wonder. Plague, plague, plague. Inspire, inspire, inspire. Gravity, gravity, gravity. Telescope, telescope, telescope. We will be seeing the words wonder, plague, gravity, inspire and telescope in the passage that we'll read further. Children, now that we have read so much about being good listeners, let's try it. I will now be reading a passage out to you. Please listen to me carefully. If you come across any new words, please note them down in your notebook. And if there are any important points, please note them as well in your notebook. I will be asking you questions after reading the passage, so you must listen carefully. बच्चों, हमने काफ़ी बात करी कि कैसे हम सामने वाले इंसान को बेहतर सुन सकते हैं और समझ सकते हैं। आइए उसी पर एक छोटी एक्टिविटी करेंगे। मैं अभी आपको कुछ पढ़ के सुनाऊंगी। आपको उसे समझना है। कुछ नए पॉइंट्स हों तो उसे नोट करिए, कुछ नए शब्द हों तो उसे भी प्लीज नोट करिएगा। बाद में मैं कुछ सवाल करूंगी। आइजैक न्यूटन figured out why objects fall on the ground and why the planets move the way they do. Isaac Newton was born in Lincolnshire, England in 1643. His father died before he was born, but despite having a difficult childhood, he gained a place at Cambridge University. When the plague broke out, he was forced to stay at home, and with so much free time on his hands, Newton started to wonder about what made things fall. Newton said that he was inspired to think about forces when he saw an apple fall from a tree. He came up with the theory of gravity, an invisible force that pulls all of the objects in the universe together, and the reason things don't float off into the sky. In 1685, Newton described his laws of motion, a mathematical guide to how an object's movement is affected by speed and mass. 2 years later, Newton published his ideas about gravity in a book which contains many of the foundations of modern science. Newton also invented a new kind of telescope called a reflector. It used a mirror to collect light instead of lenses and was much more powerful than existing telescopes. He also showed that white light was made up of all the colors of the rainbow. Children, based on the passage we just read, now let's do an activity. In the activity, you will find sentences from the passage with blanks. You have to fill in the blanks correctly. To give you a guide, I will also place the passage on the screen. So, would you like to begin? Let's start. Children, I hope you were able to fill in the blanks correctly. Now let me share with you the answers. First, Isaac Newton found out why objects fall to the ground. His father died before he was born. Isaac was born in 1643. He had a difficult childhood. He was forced to stay at home because of plague. When Isaac saw an apple falling from a tree, he started to think about the forces. Children, I hope you enjoyed this activity of being good listeners. Children, I hope you all liked the session so far. Now it's time to sit back and enjoy while I tell you a wonderful story. Did you ever wish to catch the bus and go to another part of your city? Did you ever wish to catch that train and go explore a new place? We all wish to step out of our homes and explore the world, don't we? There is a little rabbit who also wishes to go out and explore the world. Today, I will be reading to you The Clever Rabbit by Doordarshan Simba. Come, let's read. Who do you see in this picture? Yes, they are rabbits. The rabbits are dozing off while one of them is awake and thinking. He is a clever rabbit. The clever rabbit wonders, what is the world like from outside? I would like to go out. Oh, look who's come. Yes, he is the farmer. The farmer has brought a lot of green vegetables and they are all for the rabbits to eat. It is their meal time. The green vegetables smelled nice. All the rabbits woke up, got ready to eat. What was our clever rabbit doing? Our clever rabbit was thinking of an idea of how he can leave the hutch. When the farmer left the hutch with his big bag in which he had brought all the green vegetables, the rabbit got an idea. He looked at the empty bag that the farmer had in his hand and thought, yes, I have found my way of moving out from here. Tomorrow I will leave this place. The clever rabbit thought, once the farmer empties his bag, I will quickly sneak inside it. All the other rabbits ate their meal and went back to sleep. The next morning, the farmer came to the hutch with a basket full of vegetables. When he emptied the basket, the little rabbit cleverly slipped into it. The other rabbits were busy eating. They did not notice him. When the farmer had to leave the hutch, he just picked up the basket and left. And in the basket was riding a clever rabbit. The rabbit was finally free. He walked around like a king and sang. Suddenly, there was a dog who came in front of him. The clever rabbit had not thought of this danger. The dog chased the rabbit, and the rabbit kept running and running. The clever rabbit just managed to outrun the dog. The clever rabbit was now in the forest. There he saw tender grass growing. He started eating it. He found the food so sweet. He thought the food never tasted so good back there in the hutch. The rabbit was now full and he dozed off. खरगोश को जंगल में हरी घास मिलती है। वो घास को खाता है और सोचता है कि ये घास कितनी मीठी है और वहाँ जहाँ मैं पहले रहता था खाना इतना अच्छा कभी नहीं लगा मुझे। पेट भरकर अब खरगोश सो जाता है। Oh my God, what happens next? There's a lion, and it's with the roar of a lion that the little clever rabbit awoke. The lion was right behind it, and the little clever rabbit was very scared. He was terrified. खरगोश जब उठता है तब वो एक सिंह की दहाड़ के साथ उठता है। वो बहुत ही ज्यादा डर जाता है। It was night time and the lion was very hungry. He chased the rabbit and the rabbit kept running all night long. He wondered, will I stay alive? सिंह बहुत ही भूखा था। वो दौड़ने लगा खरगोश के पीछे उसे खाने के लिए और खरगोश पूरी रात दौड़ता रहा। वो यही सोचता रहा कि क्या आज मैं बच पाऊंगा। At daybreak, the rabbit could not believe his eyes. He had finally reached the farmer's house again. अगले दिन खरगोश ने देखा कि वो एक बार फिर किसान के ही घर पहुंच गया था। The door to the hutch was open, and the rabbit saw the farmer feeding the other rabbits. हच का दरवाजा खुला था और खरगोश ने देखा कि किसान बाकी खरगोश को खाना खिला रहे थे। The little clever rabbit snuck behind the farmer and got into the hutch. खरगोश किसान के पीछे से अपना रास्ता बनाकर निकल जाता है। The clever rabbit was starving. He starts eating and tells himself, I have been outside. The world is sweet, but it is bitter also. It's nice here where I am. खरगोश को बहुत भूख लगी होती है। वो खाना खाने लगता है और अपने आप से कहता है कि बाहर की दुनिया में कुछ मीठी चीजें भी हैं तो कुछ कड़वी भी। Since that day, the clever rabbit tried to know more and more about his own farm. He also advised other rabbits on their issues. Children, I hope you all loved the story of the clever rabbit and also liked the message this story gives. The story tells us that we all love to venture outside. We all like to explore. But it's important that before we step out to explore, we should also think of what the consequences could be. Children, I hope you all liked today's session, the activities and games we played. Now, I would like you all to make some time and read once again the lesson, Be a Good Listener. After that, write down 5 questions in your notebook and ask these questions to any of your family members. These questions need to be on what does your family member like to do during their free time? What is their favorite food? What is their best friend's name? You can frame any 5 simple questions and ask them to your family member. While asking them to your family member, you can try and practice being a good listener. Children, I hope you do this. Till we meet next time, bye-bye, stay safe and take care.